So I managed to get a pair on resale, the Jordan 5 Maniere. I think the sneakers that must have had a restock. So initially I didn't buy them, but obviously when I saw them on the restock, I thought I'd pick them up and see what all the fuss is about. I have the Jordan 3 Manieres, and basically those are nice. And initially looking at these, they kind of got a slightly sort of greyish hint to them, and I can see, like, in terms of the quality of the, I guess it's leather, seems slightly sort of nubucky material, seems sort of quite sort of soft, and the colour, like I said, it's kind of more of a grey colour. Hopefully that sort of picks up, but in the light you probably see that it's more sort of whitish, but it's definitely on the sort of darker sort of grey side. And I like the 23 logo and the Nike Air sort of embossed on the back and embroidered. That's like a really cool detail. And also the cage itself, it's got Armor Maniere, the logo on there as well. That's really nice. I like the kind of the blue that they've got. This, I guess it's the Photon Dust. Maybe that's the Photon Dust actually, the upper. So, and also like the sole as well. They've got kind of the A logo on the, instead of the Jumpman on this particular trainer, and it's kind of sort of swapped around. So you've got the Jumpman on the tongue as well, with that nice sort of lace lock. The age detailing, I think that's going to happen to the trainer anyway, but I would like that to happen sort of naturally. I think if I was to buy a pair, I'd probably just want them to be white, in all honesty. This aging stuff, I'm not sure about that. And then also it comes with some sort of laces as well. All in all, it's a nice shoe. I like this collar lining as well. It seems to be a lot less bulkier. The tongue feels smaller as well, so it's not kind of protruding as much as a normal Jordan 5. But in all honesty, I prefer lows in general. So, but there hasn't been sort of that many great low colorways. But if they release this in a low, I'll definitely be interested. And then on the collar lining and inside lining, you can sort of see there's the Armor Maniere logo as well. So yeah, it's a nice trainer. I think I would look towards it if I was into sort of the five highs, but I am not, so probably this one I don't think I'll be keeping in the collection. So here are the details for the Jordan 5 Armor Maniere Dawn. It comes in a Photon Dust and black colourway. I don't understand why they've just used Photon Dust and black, because I see obviously the blue on there as well. And it has an EVA sole with an airbag in the heel. And it's all leather, kind of nubuck materials. And the price was £210. In terms of comfort and sizing, I think the Jordan 5s have a medium to firm sole, so similar to a Jordan 3, but not quite as firm as a Jordan 4. And they have great support around the arch as well, and the heel sits slightly elevated, again similar to a Jordan 3. The wearing time is kind of around 2 to 5 hours, I'd say, because it's got the nubuck material is slightly softer. And it's just a little bit easier to wear. I think also due to the fact that the quality is slightly far and above sort of a standard GR release. You can go true to size on these, but I think Jordan 5s, in my opinion, run big, so you could actually potentially go down half size, in my opinion. And again, with all kind of these retro Jordans, they have good grip for like all types of weather, and that's kind of what you expect for a basketball sneaker anyway. In terms of the look and style, the updated silhouette, in terms of like looking similar to a off-white sneaker, where the collar around the ankle is basically made sort of slimmer and smaller, which I think makes it aesthetically sort of more sort of pleasing, and same with the tongue as well. I also like the hits of the sort of Armor Maniere logo around the sort of the netting on the tongue and also on the sides. And basically the inner lining also has the Armor Maniere logo. What I'm not a fan of is the aged midsoles. The colour palette, from the images when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be more white,
but hopefully you can sort of see in the images it's kind of more of a grey colour palette to it, and with sort of royal blue used sparingly, which looks nice, but just I was expecting a white sneaker, but in that respect it kind of looks a bit muted, and probably a good thing, because sometimes white sneakers can look a bit too sort of loud, especially because they use the aging as well. This, I mean, my opinion, because it's kind of like a lighter colourway, I'd wear these sort of spring autumn. Reason for that is, again, it's a Jordan 5, so it has kind of leather material, so it's not very breathable, and basically you can kind of sort of wear these in sort of the more sort of warmer months really. I wouldn't wear these in the winter because I think it would just sort of ruin the leather. And these are kind of, you can sort of dress them up sort of casual, smart casual. Even though they look sporty, it's because of the Maniere touches in terms of the colourway, and also the kind of quality of the leather nubuck that's used. It just looks slightly more sort of elevated and a lot more sort of classier than a standard sneaker. And basically, I think what works on this is the grey that you've got in there at the moment, but also sort of white or sail laces, and the blue, if you can find a pair of blue ones that kind of look nice as well, I think. In terms of the pros, it has sort of a neutral colour scheming. I like the attention to detail in terms of the touches, like I mentioned, around the tongue, the logo, the ankle collar, the nettings, that kind of stuff just basically elevates the silhouette to another level. In terms of cons, I think it has kind of similar to the Jordan 4 they did. It has like kind of these rough sort of cuts of leather, so I'm not sure how that would wear in. Maybe that was intentional, but it seems to have sort of very sort of kind of sort of rough sort of threading around the kind of panels, which might add character to it, but I'm not sure. And it also has sort of aged midsole and netting. I'm personally not a fan of it, but someone else might find that actually look really nice. But at the end of the day, I think the trainer will sort of start to age regardless once it's older, and I'd prefer it to be that way around versus it being aged already. So in terms of the ratings, I give this a look and style of 5 out of 5. I think it's a really nice sneaker. However, I don't tend to wear Jordan 5s, especially in sort of the high cut, that often. So for me, I usually wear lows, but still give it a 5 because I think they've made a nice sneaker at the end of the day. The comfort, I give it a 4. It's similar to a Jordan 3, like I said, but maybe slightly more comfortable. I think the insole is a bit more plusher as well. So the quality, I'd give that a 4 as well. The reason being is I think, like I said, it's got sort of the rough edges around the leather panels, which I personally don't like, and I'd rather have it sort of being clean rather than kind of have this sort of rough, worn look to it. And the pricing is kind of, I think, another issue. I think it's just retros in general are just too expensive at the moment. And even though it's a collab and it's got sort of nicer materials, I still think it could be sort of lowered in price. It doesn't necessarily mean that I think it should be as low as a GR price, but it should be lower than what it is, which is £210. And overall, I still give it a 5. It's not a sneaker for me, but I understand the thought process that's gone into it, and I think it is still a nice sneaker. It's just not one for me.